to prove that they're way better than what they're showing us. So even if they win this game, they're barely scraping by. They have one win in this stage, and they'll have to do way more work to get the adoration and respect of their peers and all the fans, and that is deserved. That is the way that it should be.
Yep.
You know, as many trophies as Fallen has won, of course, if he's playing on this team, looking to get more for this roster, the criticism for him playing on this roster is its own sort of part of the journey, and it should be taken on that merit alone. And for FURIA, they have to prove that they are more than just their new hires and the experience of Fallen and the trophy and cabinet that he's created for himself with a different roster.
Sure, you can look at that roster and you can look at that. Hold on, this is fast. They're not going to waste the moment. FURIA, they know what they want. It's the B site.
Oh, okay.
They're going to take it. Art and chelo connecting with the headshots. Deep one from chelo with a smoke in front. So suddenly it feels like ecstatic. This bomb site was never yours.
Yo.
Okay, chelo, I see you.
It would be the perfect time for a chelo pop-off game. I'm not going to lie, I don't think I've said his name a single time these last two maps.
Every once in a while, though, you do get that chelo carry.
Yeah, exactly. And he was in a weird role when he came into this team because he was sort of replacing an anchor. But we knew him as an antsy, aggressive T-side entry fragger who was incredibly explosive, especially T-side overpass. That was a key position for him. But since then, he's actually, developed and become better on CT side as well as still showing a lot of finesse on T side and happy to be aggressive at all times. But FURIA these days is much more Fallen's FURIA than it is Art's FURIA. They play much more sustainable rounds overall. They play much less gimmicky plays. Art does not get so far away from his teammates as he used to. They are a much different team than we've seen in past years.
Yeah, and in past years, that's when, the expectations of FURIA were so much higher. Coming out of COVID, where FURIA was winning everything over in the Americas, and where they shouldn't be winning anything right now, but the bomb is actually T-spawn. If they were to get another kill here, things could have gotten crazy. But coming off of COVID, we were talking about a FURIA who, in the first 3 majors, were able to get top 8. Each and every time. They were a mainstay in top 8 at the majors after COVID ended. 3 in a row, right? Including a top 4 in Rio, when things were feeling better than ever. This would be the second major that FURIA fall out in the top 16, coming shy of playoffs. And so suddenly we think to ourselves, all the expectations that were set 2 years ago, the peak that was KSCERATO and Yuri is the best duo in Brazil. Well, now suddenly FURIA's regressions come at a time where there are more Brazilians in top 16 than ever.
And they don't have drop to take down Navi when time matters, so...
You can only be the kings if you hold on to the crown. Kraken and Queenix with the first gun round of ECSTATIC are given a quick challenge inside the A site. Nicely done from FURIA to follow through.
Oh, he's got that lineup perfectly. My God.
Gets away from it as well.
Switches sides, and now they're in jeopardy of actually the smoke coming up, so they got to reset the situation. That is a massive kill.
Salazar smokes the molly. They very much know he's in there. KSCERATO concerned of a second set of eyes, but this is FURIA hitting the pause button for a second. There's a smoke still on 2 of the members of ECSTATIC, but oh no!
They weren't ready for that temple push? That's interesting. I mean, Fallen should have been. Maybe he just wasn't aware how much he was sticking out. Or they thought they had full inventory of the map, but 3 players still roaming. I mean, Salazar has got them cut off at the pass. This is a weird time to split up, actually. I mean, they could hope that the site's completely open, but...
He's heard this.
Yeah. But Salazar's not playing to peak right now, so he's going to let them potentially get into the site. He actually risks getting flanked if he's not...
The jump up could catch him. The jump up could catch him, but no, he'll strike at the right time. So hunting slowly behind Yuri. KSCERATO doesn't have the time to pull off this 1v3, so saving that AK-47 suddenly feels all the more important. And that's just ECSTATIC in a decision from FURIA to pause all across the map, barring KSCERATO walking in middle. Fallen just kind of sticks the booty out a little too far.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there was a bad calm, because in that situation, of course, he would know. The temple's a possibility, but...
let's see what we get for a replay.
He was holding the flank. That was open. That's Kragan on your screen, of course. And he plays like a very interesting or important role for the team, just as the one who is more aggressive. He seems to thrive more pushing by himself. He's the star rifler in Overpass A bathrooms. And yeah, I think they do have a very good structure, I think, in terms of personalities. Like, I want to believe if they all went into different teams, they would still keep their same play styles, which tells me they've got a good composition. I think you can get way more detailed than this, but I'll say I'm always looking for, do you have a good combination of slow players and fast players? I mean, at a very basic level, you're not really going to get Blame F and Rops and players like Wonderful to like suddenly be the most aggressive, players of all time. And that doesn't mean that there isn't a place for them on the right team, as long as they have balance. The team, there are very few players who kind of do it all, whether it's Zaiwu, Simple, Nico, Device, players of this caliber. But for the most part, I think when you team up with people, you're really hoping that you've got a nice assortment of riflers who want to be pushed up and take opening frags, players who want to be in clutch rounds and be last alive or be solo on anchor spots. And you can really tell by the way that they move around who's good at what.
Yeah, you need that perfect mix.
And it does look like ECSTATIC have a great composition, honestly.
Teammates to cover your shortcomings. Lots of smokes being burned out here. Incendiaries too from both ends. Right now, Kragan actually has control of middle between two smokes. He's made a little pocket for himself, an elbow patty. Uh-oh! Pulls the smoke out. Costly mistake. Still two CTs in sight, but they both get dropped. Yuri, crack of the whip as he comes out from cave to open up shop and to put FURIA right back into the driving seat.
They look very sharp right now for the opening of this game in terms of what they're getting away with. Of course, walking through a smoke like that could have got you killed, but the reason they did it was because... Oh, actually, hold on. There's a chance for the retake, 2v2.
Yeah, Kragan's been sharp enough to pull this one off.
What kind of utility? We got a smoke coming in late here from Queenix.
Another frag for Queenix too. They've got them stuck inside of the cave. Queenix comes around the corner, gets the first kill. Second player pinned behind box.
No smoke available, but he can't actually stick the plant.
Sticking it all the way.
Oh my god, he's going to get it.
KSCERATO finessed! Kragan pulls him under the water.
Jesus.
And KSCERATO drowns in the pressure.
Wow, he takes the better angle on the defuse and just sticks it. That's a lifeline. That's a buoy right now. Make sure they're close to shore here.
And the spray was on point. He just didn't follow through with more shots.
This could have... yeah, I think that he was hoping would at least scare you enough to get off it, or if not, hope that you were already off it.
Well, that is one they'll be content to sprinkle in.
No, they desperately need that
2v3 retake.
Just to slow down FURIA. And again, I feel like another well-placed timeout. I feel like the timeouts have always come at a time where I'm like, all right, you didn't know what you were going to do next. You probably thought you were going to lose this round. So, all right, let's chill for a second because we have to reset the attitude. Now we're coming into a bye.
Recalibrate.
Yeah, how do we take advantage of it?
And advantage can be taken over top of this majority pistol round from FURIA. FURIA, who started their run in Copenhagen with a shocking loss to Legacy on no other map than Ancient, where they could very well be eliminated from the tournament as well.
So how fast do FURIA want to play into this round? Well, it looks like pretty fast.
Nice
well, look
pressure.
Who's ready for them. Oh,
and
my
the cave
God.
support too, right? As if Queenix wasn't able to get both those kills on his own. Oh, and Patty with the fresh mag gets the Tech 9 to chase. Op shot denies any entry on A, and Fallen instantly on his own.
Can we call that a 2-for-1 round though, off that clutch now? Because
yes,
this was a forced up buy. FURIA looked like they had that locked in.
And you could call it 3 because now you've got T's with... Do they have enough to rebuy?
Oh, I don't think they do, actually.
That could be a 3-round deficit caused by 2v3 retake.
Yeah.
2v3 retake and just a heads-up 1v1 stick.
Yes, yeah. They survived, and that's like the first time in a while KSCERATO hasn't won his 1v1. I think he had...
True,
I think he had 4 on Inferno, man. It was like non-stop.
No, you're right. Was getting in his impact in that department. Now, we've seen aggressive stances from FURIA out on B. This one gets Slowed down by utility, and another challenge from Kragan as they're going to open up smoke for the cave push. What a challenge as well. But still the site could fall. Sure enough, Nodios going to fumble control of long. chelo, that's a great chance to grab the AK.
The bomb pushes back. It's going to slide into the site now.
They boost over. Oh, no. Ooh. Can't stop it.
It did look like he had vision for a second. Luckily for FURIA, they get this bomb planted. Still low numbers, no map control. They don't even have banana.
Ooh, and then Yuri with the MAC-10 gets the best of Kragan. That is a huge kill to pick up. It's another rifle to drop at the feet of the CTs, and a retake demanded up from the ramp. Again, third piece is Salazar, slower from CT spawn, working with the op, so he wants to get activated last. SMG, ton of damage, sets up the Tech-9.
Ooh, okay.
And just like that, FURIA, they just crank the dial into the B site, and they swarm. chelo, huge opening, deep, long lane.
Yeah, and this was actually the third round, right? They didn't even invest fully, did they?
No.
Yeah, so they deny it on the eco.
Yeah, we said it was 1 for 3, but it's just 2.
That definitely, I mean, it would have been sad for them if they had lost all 3 to that one defuse in that situation. This feels a bit more fair.
Kragan dying when this smoke faded. Huge pickup from Yuri.
MAC-10 does work right here. And that is a very hard situation to distill. When you're in the B site, bomb planted, low numbers, no nades, no map control.
Out to middle, chelo. Oh, clean spray control. Comes by way of great crosshair placement.
Yeah, that was a bit of...
Oh, in a second!
Talk about it again. Queenix poked the bear right there. chelo, massive entries on the pistol into a big rifle round here in round 7.
Man, you flagged it early, right? We could be on for that chelo masterclass. Salazar down the ramp into the waiting hands of Yuri. Everything going wrong now for the B site. chelo just sends 2 bullets through that smoke.
I love the way that FURIA are playing right now, man.
Break it down.
It is just worlds apart from what we saw on Overpass. I feel like they're really like wearing clothes that fit them now. And I think everything was just a bit too baggy on Overpass. And they looked uncomfortable. They looked in the mirror. I don't think they were confident. I don't think they believed in themselves. And that was the story of the first stage, was them basically using the entire stage to warm up and put themselves in the most pressure possible and then show that they could still survive. They have gone through it at this major. Whatever you can criticize about them, and there have been things to criticize, but I'm sure for them, the emotions have been an unbelievable roller coaster.
This second kill. Queenix didn't know what he was getting himself into. Nodios tried his damnedest to recover, but there were so many bodies outside of this site. You know, Salazar attempting the same thing. Take a bow, chelo. FURIA back in control of this game. Shadow advantage queues up Art's easy frag. There's a Zeus on Patty if things are going to get weird, but nobody's even going towards cave.
Their personality of old is also starting to shine through. Faster plays, less map control, more simple execs. This is more Art's FURIA than Fallen's.
And a nice mixed bag of hitting A and B.
Sometimes they go A, sometimes B. Must be watching Alexi demos.
Back to B.
Sometimes back to B. This is also how they played their Ancient last time.
FURIA, that is.
Yeah. Same sort of energy.
Like the better team.
Yeah, that's definitely a huge part of it.
Pistol's trying to take an AK down with them, and sure enough.
It really is just Fallen trying to take down Danes in elimination matches at majors.
Hey, man.
Up-and-coming ones, especially.
Yep. Fallen with Imperial versus Copenhagen Flames back at PGL Antwerp.
Copenhagen Flamme?
Yeah, the Copenhagen Flamme. Who played really well at the AMA. But now all the pressure's on ECSTATIC.
Only one left from that lineup here is Hooksy?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh, and Nodios.
And Nodios.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, wow.
Comeback of the
Heroic.
century, dude.
Yeah, I knew there was someone missing. That is crazy.
Yes, sir.
After being on Fnatic and basically being forgotten about.
Yep.
Nodios. And also, if you saw him playing earlier, that was him playing like he was playing on the Flames.
Damn right.
And actually, crazy, just to point that out for a second, with a rifle.
Yeah, it's actually not the same Nodios at all.
No, Nertz was using the op on Vertigo every round, and Nodios using a rifle. So anyways.
2024 CS2.
You can't predict it. You couldn't predict it.
Scriptwriter's been working overtime.
As Derek said to me once, it's anyone's version.
Yeah, true. It's kind of felt that way.
Ooh, this push, this crawl down mid.
Elbow assistance.
Whoa, 3 T kills, one's not so great.
Yeah, that's a team kill in the middle. Fallen just sticking that barrel in Chelo's back. KSCERATO, though, making good timing on the A-lurk. They're concerned about main, but oh, he doesn't get any. It's a bunch of damage. It's 2 softened players for the remnants of FURIA to try and push over. Nice deep ramp control here could very well unravel what's left in FURIA, because they're going to come out, be concerned about long, short. Nodios should have this one in the bag. Sure enough, blindside's fallen. Bomb in Yuri's hands. Go for the plant, get that little bit of money. Pressure's going to come out in the way of utility, and now you can throw the Hail Mary. A flash that could interrupt things, but no headshot, right? Damage on Salazar over towards A. Damage on Patty thanks to Yuri.
Yeah.
But they don't just push it over the line, and so ECSTATIC get a 4th.
Yeah, sorry, I think I said 3 kills, but it was 2. 1 T kill, 1 team kill, and 1 CT. And the 4 crawl down mid is the interesting tactic of the round for ECSTATIC. And this map is incredibly mid-centric in the meta currently for the CT sides. All the best teams are getting control of Heaven, being able to use it against the Ts, and punishing T teams for playing very quickly. But what we've seen from FURIA, contrasted to other teams that we watched, and I can't remember which one it was exactly, it was Apex, who were playing it too much to the extremities and not respecting the fact that mid-control could be taken. And here, FURIA definitely are showing us a slightly better way of doing it, and also winning mid in the middle of this half when they need to.
Yeah,
but you have to condition the CTs out of mid, or get the kills when you go for it.
That can come by way of elbow support, like we saw added into the mix, but when you start to get heavy numbers from CTs, somebody's always ready for that fight.
Elbow support, call that an armrest. I used to be an IGL, so I just think of names for strats.
Okay, guy. Should have saved that for playoffs.
Armchairs are just chairs for your arms.
Yeah. You mean armrests?
Chair arms, yeah. Damn it.
Okay. Should have stopped while you were ahead.
Oh, if you're going to double down.
Yeah, you done played yourself, sucker. Yuri, right back into it. And this time, I mean, Patty, you're on your own, boss. No mid support because of the Molotovs burning on the jump up. Chelo, he's going to get pressured from ramp. There's the assistance. And still 2 players floating out in middle for the defense. Now it's up to Kragan to try and get back KSCERATO. Huge duel, and he's going to lose it. It's a double kill from KSCERATO, but those 2 stars of FURIA, low health. Fallen was the king of overpass at the start of this series, and he is the full health bar with bomb here in round 10. ECSTATIC on the brink of tying this CT side, but they are so separated at the moment. 1 cave, 1 mid.
Yeah, he will be the arbiter of strategy here in this round. This KSCERATO pendulums over towards him. Nodios waiting for his opportunity to defend, but in a spot where it might be tough, too tenuous to multi-frag. We'll see. This is one of the most predictable positions for him to be in because it's a good angle to work with. So what does that mean for FURIA? They'll give him some sound bait. Another CT will rock in. And is there a chance for Salazar to help him out first?
I don't think so. He's so concerned about top mid. Nodios is going to have to go massive on his own. KSCERATO's...
Oh my God! That's a little gift of greatness out of KSCERATO. 1 bullet between the eyes. And again in the spot where you know he'd be around, but a test bullet just to see if he's playing the off angle. Just disgusting from KSCERATO.
You know, the power of that smoke towards longside. 1 less option for KSCERATO to worry about. So what's he do? He sends that golden bullet back sight. 3K in round 10 for KSCERATO to grow the lead of FURIA. and to keep that money for ecstatic at bay.
That's the first time it feels like FURIA look, you know, much stronger than ecstatic, despite the scoreline being close. Just the confidence and what they're getting away with now. The amount of plants going down on the B sites, the amount of refrags back. And like, we could see the mid-rounding, you know, if you were to sort of make this a review and different criteria, you could say that FURIA had the mid-rounding all along. You know, very rarely did they ever run into a stack. Once or twice on Inferno. Outside of that, they were doing a good job in late rounds, low number situations, just getting outgunned sometimes. What the hell, man?
Gives them that little jiggle.
But now they've got the mid-rounding, and they've got the firepower to keep up.
And they've got pistols to abuse.
And look at that, yeah.
And back in with this consistent pressure towards Red Room. That ominous smoke that could always mean somebody's coming swinging, and with no challenge, chelo can easily lock in boxes. Mid is forgone. In FURIA's favor, they will creep closer. We haven't seen a donut attack, and this is actually the perfect moment to have a couple 5-7s put on a crossfire. Will they use another smoke to just burn time? Can FURIA unravel this, or are they going to fall victim to ecstatic's pistols as they have in this series? It's a double peek and they both get cleared. Then the flank from Nodios out of the Red Room, so...
That also sucks the life out of the A-hit. They cannot come in here with someone alive in donut without their smoke down.
And that op's still forever in play.
It's dangerous for them.
KSCERATO giving it the jump spot. Utility pressure's coming out. Flashbang is good. Salazar can't fire off. Nodios comes in, but the coverage is great from Fallen. USP dinks? Excuse me. Yuri wounded. KSCERATO tagged. Patty's still fighting for his damn life, but it's FURIA's 7th, no doubt.
Ooh, they kind of needed that one, didn't they? And Salazar, again, he'll get into an angle that's like, that's not a bad angle to get to, but it is very expected, I think, for FURIA, and they do a good job of fending off from this usual position, that flashbang, the patience, and they survive a difficult spot. What could have been a critical position here for ecstatic. I mean, now it's a max potential of 5 rounds in this half, which is not necessarily that bad with a pistol or anything like that, but the opportunities that we're seeing let slip. I think that's the worrying part. Inferno still fresh in their minds, a long map full of unbelievable moments and a 20-minute break since then, thrown right back into it.
Ecstatic can just somehow tap back into the confidence they were playing with on Overpass even
had
longer ago than what we just wrapped up on Inferno. That map was a clear, convincing ecstatic win.
Because they have the reps. They have the ancient reps as well. They played it a ton.
And it felt like on Overpass, despite FURIA taking the challenge there, it was those reps, that experience, the ability to play their game, where ecstatic end up walking away with a win. But this is a fired up FURIA. And it's a ferocious mid-hold coming from ecstatic. Nicely done with the pressure off the util.
Yeah.
It'd be so easy to shy away from this fight after you've lost it as many times as you have, but Art trying to peek over smoke pays the ultimate price. Nodios down ramp gets a kill and a half, and it's desperation from FURIA to just try and challenge into B. Stopped on the approach. Patty says, enough's enough. It's a 5th round win sprinkled to the CT side of ecstatic.
Yeah, that was sublime. You see Salazar's actually having a great time over here. People are still laughing. So the mood is still good. Sound here for ecstatic. And I think we see a half that they could have definitely got a little bit more of. They could have got those 3 rounds in a row after the fuse from Kragan. But maybe they've got to be happy with the fact that they even got to this point. FURIA came in high confidence. Chelo's on point. Yuri's having a comeback that's akin and feels like Axiles, you know, in this tournament, where there's been no questions now, at least in this series, about how good he's doing. As a player that doesn't need to be the best rifler on the team, but still needs to be a star and core player for FURIA, who's sort of less defined by like the gun he picks up or the aggression, but instead just a heavy, like the pure output of kills. That's what Yuri is. And he's getting those refrags now. They can't rest on their laurels. CT side is more comfortable, but it's not when you lose the pistol.
Oh man, look what we have queued up. P250 finds the first one. Kragan ready to swing. 3 opening kills ecstatic.
Oh baby.
Fight fire with fire.
We're gonna get an explosive finish tonight. That's just a fact at this point.
Sign me up. Patty's smoking off Donut, planting safely behind boxes. Dually spam won't be able to find anybody here.
I heard him running, planted back for CT.
Art's gonna get a fight towards Temple entrance first. Queenix slowly getting into his flank. A good time peek from Kragan. Disrupted Art for a second. More importantly, they lose control of Donut, and now things feel too desperate for Art to really get this going. So ECSTATIC don't shy away from the fight. They go bodies heavy into mid, knowing that the utility that you'll find in the rifle rounds can't stop you. Using the pistols to just push and follow through. It's ECSTATIC to kick it off with a momentous T-side.
Yeah.
Start strong, finish strong.
Yeah, right there on, they're right there on the doormat now. It says welcome. This is not even a long shot, essentially. It's about momentum. It's about dismantling the economy, imbuing yourself with a bit of belief. I'm trying to see this go all 24, though, at this point. Let's see if another special moment will be made. And let's also see what this T-side's all about. And anti-eco's their first test. I think FURIA have done a commendable job on anti-ecos, or on the ecoing side of those anti-ecos, and coming up with ideas and tactics to make the round scary.
This one really just hinging on that single MP9 from Art, right? Pretty consistent in these rounds from FURIA that Art will just throw an SMG out. Question is, can he get much done with it? Set up with KSCERATO and Cave. The numbers are coming his way, but the pistol serves up a good distraction. He jumps down to the second. Ooh, this is big.
They had Kragan terrified.
2 more players on site. He tries to get out, and he will.
Ooh, where are those trades, man? They're terrified of an MP9 jumping around.
And if they go stack Red Room, if they get this fight versus Queenix, then suddenly that'll be a Galil in their hands and a 4 versus 2. Oh, but the SMG can't get it. Molotov pulled out, things get awkward, kills end up going down the way for ECSTATIC. This one had something to stand on.
It did, it did. It was a good effort for sure. And I'm not gonna lie, the way that Kragan pulled back instead of just running at that frag instantly and allowing Art to not only get it, but get away, and Nodios comes out late, that is the kind of thing I have not had any criticism towards ECSTATIC for throughout this entire run, not just this match, not just this stage. I think that's something that they have been doing consistently well, is never looking like they're letting each other down.
Well, put a pin in it, because if they were to let each other down right now and let chelo get this defuse off, it'd be gut-wrenching, but the deep CT control looks like it should be the insurance policy. Damage out of him, but nothing more from that to survive the test of Art's MP9.
It is a test, but it's also passed for FURIA. They get 3 kills. They they get ECSTATIC to look a little bit scared in this situation. And again, right here, I mean, you're going in the wrong direction. That's sort of like being afraid of a wasp, you know what I mean? You're much bigger than the wasp, and yes, sometimes we are scared of wasps, but it's actually not a good strat to run from them. Hit them out of the sky, man. That was the best bug I could give Art.
Why are we defining bug-killing meta? Oh. Dangerous games, Nodios. Especially to do that with no support, but he is honestly keeping 3 members of FURIA very much distracted, all while his teammates are looking to carve a road into this A site. KSCERATO Molly in hand, MP9, all he has to work with. And if he doesn't use that util fast enough, he's gonna get swarmed. Patty's coming through it! Doesn't give a damn!
Uh-oh.
Fallen on the CT lane, tries to put shots through, but no damage.
I'll say something, 4v5 retakes on the A site are not...
He made too many steps. Art's been found out. Nodios, it's a wonderful late lurk, and it looks like ECSTATIC on the full-fledged guns gets a T round early.
Yeah, and shout out to Patty for that kill. When does KSCERATO not get his one? Running through the molly, pick the right person to fight as well. He was thinking either it's going to be main, it's going to be donut. I had to figure out who to fight first, and he has the right idea, but the shot is just perfect there from Patty. Wow, and a 5 alive round here for ECSTATIC to get 8-7.
It was far and few between when it came to FURIA's donut presence throughout their T-side. This is an early mid-fight that ECSTATIC were happy to take because there was no contest, right? We had 3 CTs committed to lower B, and maybe it's because of that door fight. Nodios took a huge risk coming out of that smoke for even half a second with 3 CTs around him. Not that he knew the numbers,
Sure,
but that kept them so preoccupied that mid was just vacuum sealed.
what's Gary got to say? Now, again, like usually what we're going to see, and I think we're getting a very well varied T side that we saw out of the calling from FURIA was good in terms of how much they wanted to fight it to mid, how much conditioning they could get, how many times they just went directly for sites early in the round and avoided that entirely. And now we're going to find out what ECSTATIC want to do. They're going to try to lay down mid control and play retakes or fight because they think FURIA are going to take control of it. They don't play rounds down to the last 10 seconds, so I don't see them playing retake on mid late into the round. But early excite execs, I can definitely see that. And look at the play right now. Minimap is a vacant A site. It's correct. No one's here to hold.
Fast donut moves, right? FURIA quickly redirect.
But they're there first.
Challenge out around the smoke. Queenix can't maintain it. KSCERATO given a chance to fall off site. He loses Yuri, but a player back in Fallen is also caught.
What in the...
Kragan making sure that he doesn't get into any wild antics.
I thought they removed Train from the map pool. What are we watching right now? This is unreal, the amount of smokes that players are running through, mollies that are being taken, and FURIA just because they had an investment right there in this round. They wanted to fight for it, and they did not feel like they were in a position to retake it, so they ran through everything.
Dude, the ball is on ECSTATIC to go all in A rush, fast smokes, out of spawn.
Off the tack, they've been good.
Right?
They've been good off the tack. It's the right play. And it's honestly, it's more of the tier 1 teams, I think, that have been playing in a vacant A site early round. That have been doubling down on B and mid and opting to think about retaking. And I think there's a moment, there's just like a shared zone of territory where they felt like it's not their timing yet. We are close enough where we can jump in. But when we saw ECSTATIC scale all the way to single box in the back of the site, they had better angles already.
Yep.
They also had better guns overall. And even though they lost their first duel, they still had full control. And also, no one's there in Temple, you know what I mean? That also makes a massive difference for stopping players from scaling, getting information, clearing the back box. And you can see they're just fighting forward, right?
Yep, fighting behind these boxes because all they had was CT lane to try and help KSCERATO.
Yep.
And even that one pocket between the smokes, mollied.
Again.
There was nowhere to stand.
No.
You pop your head out from behind that smoke, it gets shredded. And while FURIA can't afford the rebuy with some money in their back pockets too,
they're doing it again. This time it's going to be 4 towards the other side of the map.
Okay.
And they've got clear pathway here for takeoff.
Okay. Yuri pressing in close. Patty's going to get him in an instant.
Whoa.
Him and Nodios. This is just ECSTATIC slamming the extremities of the map and starting to set a tempo that not even FURIA can seemingly keep up with.
Is it FURIA getting surprised by their own game right now? They got away with this early on in the first half.
It's the same tempo. It's the same aggression. But it is no longer the same FURIA.
No, it's not. We knew T-side was going to go this way when we swapped over. ECSTATIC with another perfect call, right? It's a tactic out of spawn. It's not a default into a round win. It's avoiding mid so far, and again, who knows if they're going to even have to deal with that problem, because if they keep the money low, FURIA might not be able to even fight them there. They might be in a half save every single round from now.
No guarantee that these guns get saved either. Art, he'll hang on to his, but he's getting chased down. KSCERATO's also dead.
One op left.
And they're coming for it. Oh, they clear it.
Oh, everyone dies.
FURIA wiped out.
10 frames left on the round. FURIA are wiped out.
This is ECSTATIC going for fights on the extremities of the map out of spawn and alternating. All in A, all in B.
They literally are mirroring the ideas that FURIA brought in with the fast tactics, but they don't have an antidote for the problems they were causing ECSTATIC. And I know if we ran this back, they would be able to figure them out and identify they need to pre-molly, pre-smoke, play in front of those choke points. But it's already become too late. Look at the money. No more chances. Now they've got them terrified on both sides of the map. They're spread into a default on their weakest round of all.
No, and Patty's constant poking on any position he comes at is really keeping FURIA on their toes, and being on their tiptoes causes this disbalance. Kraken's wallbang out of Cave clears Yuri along the wall. That's 1 of 3. And there's no overexcitement from ECSTATIC off the opening.
Yeah.
Because they can also just lean back into a default. There is a question around this A main presence. Queenix is creeping in behind KSCERATO, and he gets past.
Oh, he got spotted.
Oh, he had the advantage. The timing there comes down to a T.
But he was the one patrolling because they don't have info on Donut. They even have a timing on Window where a T could have snuck through earlier on, and ECSTATIC are going to jump on this instantly. CT's left in the perimeter with weak guns, close to nothing. 2 of their good ones left over on the other side of the map. 11 rounds for ECSTATIC.
A sudden T-side takeover nobody could have seen coming. This is flawless thus far. 6 rounds straight from ECSTATIC in response to what was a ferocious FURIA out of the gate. To lose that post plant back on Inferno, to give FURIA a chance to harness that energy, to come into map 3 with the pace that they did. My God, it felt like they were coming in and playing better than ever. And it has been stalled entirely as ECSTATIC take over this second half of the map.
You know when you're saving on this tree and you've got a lineup, you got your shit pushed in.
You better hide. And you better hope that Patty doesn't come swinging for your head again, because he has been instrumental to the early pressure regardless of the bomb site. And Queenix slipping in. KSCERATO, he turned his attention for 2 seconds.
Nothing but headshots. Nothing but headshots for this man.
FURIA have to find a way to put a halt to this dominance out of ECSTATIC.
And they could. It's looking a whole lot like Inferno's scoreline, and that clawback that happened was definitely impressive. They've got the money, they've got the CT advantages, and now they've got 2 ops. KSCERATO on the op.
Forward Cave support, including chelo next to it. Chelo, who was lights out in the first half on his own T side, is now suddenly going negative.
There's another massive timing here. They have 2 ops and no window control. They're watching this passively, but they're at risk of getting smoked out. Their biggest... Oh, no! Are they going to forget? Oh, no, it's covered!
Double
Patty
entry.
and Nodios rain terror over on this side of the map. Fallen goes down. His face is in the sky. That scope doesn't even get to shoot. And KSCERATO on the other side of the map has no idea what to do now.
The time to kill on each of these engagements is just bewildering if you are FURIA. They cannot get their hands on a moment. This is free-falling FURIA, about to be dropped out of the first CS2 major, shy of top 8. Surrounded by more countrymen than ever, meant to be their kings, and instead on the brink of being slain. KSCERATO drops the off, and this is ECSTATIC with 5 map and match points to keep their dreams alive.
They are richer than kings right now. They have so much here to work with, so many opportunities to play. Is it a foregone conclusion? Can FURIA dig this deep, starting 0-2 down 2 stages in a row into map 3, 5 rounds down versus a team that played better than them all the way up until this point? You know, there was moments now where we could say FURIA have gotten better, and that's an important thing, but slow starts have not been their friend. And you can feel for both of these teams, they played against teams like FaZe, G2, Mouse in their opening games and couldn't win.
It's top 16, there is no chance.
Exactly, yeah.
You play your best.
That was the point of the opening stage, was to be ready and warm to play here in the elimination stage.
And of course FURIA are going to power up as this event goes on. They've got a wealth of experience to tap back into. They've got stage games, they've got playoffs, they've got everything that they need to bank on paper. The one team in this series you'd expect to crumble should be ECSTATIC. 5 young, unproven Danes who are playing with a ferocious pace on this T side. They are taking what they want by storm. And as Nodios just swarms into Fallen, there is nothing that they can do to hang on. This is a flawless T side coming together.
It pushes KSCERATO into a desperate spot where the flank has been found out, where the utility hasn't been used, and where that bomb ticking is the timer on the life of FURIA here at the Major. And Patty, who has called excellence, has also taken over. And while you reload, he will give you no chance to catch your breath. They're done. They're dead. And the hometown heroes live on to continue this fight.
The Panthers will leave wounded and bleeding out as ECSTATIC can thrive. They have survived going 0-3 in the elimination stage and shown some amazing CS. That T side